What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. And yes, today was a big win for the Epstein survivors. Big win. Now, it hasn't gone all the way, but it is a huge win. Now, Donald Trump could have easily have said, just like he did everything else, go ahead and release those files. But he's been hiding them this entire time. And you know what kills me is that people are saying that he's protecting the wealthy and the rich. He's protecting them. Donald Trump don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. Since when does Donald Trump give a fuck about anybody themselves unless somebody's giving him money? Answer that. When does that happen? So they're out here saying, Donald Trump's protecting the rich and the wealthy. No, he's protecting himself. You see how quick, once he realized that he couldn't beat this, that it was a big groundswell, that the Republicans were going to end up voting, damn near maybe 100 of them. Turns out it's all of them but one that said yay or didn't have a vote and then voted no was one guy. That one dude who speaks like he's from the South, 1870s and shit like that. That dude. Yeah. So he knew that Mike Johnson couldn't whip them back to the no answer. So then he said, I can do it. You guys can go ahead and do it, whatever it may be. But Donald Trump, when asked, he threw other people under the bus. Last name Reed, I forgot his name, the guy who started LinkedIn. He threw some other guy that worked under, somebody else. I forgot his name too. These people are forgettable. But these billionaires, he threw them under the bus. And then there was some woman or another who worked in the Obama administration, threw her under the bus. So I'm sitting there like, because I guess it was because it was in the emails that they found out about her, that she was having some kind of conversation with him while she was working for President Obama. And you had people ask that question today, trying to attach to the Democrat Party. I want you to understand something. Hear my voice and hear it clear. I don't give a fuck who. Okay? I don't care if your neighborhood pastor or priest did something. I don't care if Jesus Christ came down and raped somebody. I don't care who it is. We want them. Quit doing this party shit. Quit trying to say, but the Democrats did do. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting tired of your little whataboutism. If you took your stick and fucked with somebody that didn't want it, then your ass needs to go. If you took your mouth, ladies, and did something to a child, your ass need to go. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if it's your daddy, if your mama, your grandmama. I don't care who the fuck it is. Get off this fucking train of, it's Republicans and Democrats. I don't care. And I don't think Americans care. That's why we have this groundswell about this shit. You got people out here, Republicans, talking about, we were talking about it 4 years ago, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Who gives a shit about what you were doing 4 years ago? You didn't do shit, did you? Did you handle anything 4 years ago? No, you was talking about it, but did you actually do something? Oh, we weren't in power. You know what's so crazy? Democrats aren't in power now, majorly, and they still got it done. So how can you say when you are out of power, you couldn't do shit? Shut the fuck up. That whataboutism shit, and we could have done it. Where were the Democrats before? Where was the Republicans before? Because Republicans are in power in the House, the Senate. You got the Supreme Court fixed. All of it. My wonderment, and I give this kudos to the Democrats. You finally figured out how to fucking fight. Now keep it up. You finally figured your punk ass out how to fight. And you know what it took? You know what it took? A black woman. It was a black woman. I didn't even know this till today. That started up these meetings for these young ladies. A black woman. I heard her name today. Never heard of her before. But then there was another lady. Her last name is Presley. She was a big part of it too. Another black lady. The bald head black lady. Beautiful woman. I want to say Yana Presley, but I'm thinking maybe that's an actor or something. I can't remember, but I just know that I can picture her. It took a black woman to fight for these people. The 92%. That's the reason why this thing is where it is. a black woman started. Here I'm thinking Ro Khanna and the other dude, Massey. I'm thinking they did all this shit. They took it on, they put their face on it, but the women started the meetings. They got it to where it's at, to where they wrote this particular bill. Amazing. I had no clue. But it took all of us. I'm just saying, give credit where credit is due. Everybody in the process. Praises go all to the young ladies who had to endure all this and champion themselves and give themselves strength every day after all that hell to keep fighting and not giving up. Keep fighting some more. We got your back. 100,000%. But you Republicans, fuck y'all. Y'all been talking about y'all. Well, Democrat. I'm going to show you because I really want you to see. Because we get past shit too quick. And I want to sit here and relish, okay, in this destruction of the Republican Party. Now, I ain't saying destruction as far as like they're going to get out of power, nothing like that. I'm talking about this moral depletion of them. Because they're trying to pull themselves up by something. Ain't nothing there. Ain't no boots, ain't no straps. You pulling up skin, bruh. Cuticles from your neck, you're pulling up dry. Because you're going to sit here and try and say you had something to do with this shit. Massey had something to do with it. And all of y'all was calling Massey out like he was nobody. And Massey, he only came out because he said he was going to end up not running again. Well, Massey, you might have another career. You might get a boost because I think next time you just might win your race when you didn't even try to win. You might change your mind. You might win, bruh. You thought that these Republicans had you and was effing you over, and now what did they do? Not 100 of them bounced over. Everybody in that whole thing voted but one. Congratulations, ladies. A toast to you. Keep up the good work. I know. I want you to, ladies, let me speak to these ladies real quick. Ladies, this is coming from my heart to yours, okay? I want you to understand something. You did not just fight for yourselves. You didn't. And today, I've heard many of you speak, the ladies who were going through this, and said you fought for 30 years. And you're fighting for the future girls who are going through it in the future. You're fighting for, I didn't hear anybody say you're fighting for the girls of today, because these same people, because they haven't been apprehended, are hurting children right this second. As I talk, there's a girl screaming for help and nobody's hearing it. As I talk, there is a billionaire sticking his stick where it shouldn't be, and a child is screaming right this very fucking second, and you guys are fighting for that. You're opening up your voice, risking your lives, your happiness, your joy, and you creating a new joy of fighting back, of claiming your power away from these grubby ass men, billionaires, and women, empowered so much that they thought that your bodies were theirs to fuck with, to play with like you was a game of fucking Monopoly. Claim you on whatever street. I claim you over here. No. You have risen up, showed them that no, your money is not going to hide your little grubby ass anymore. And Americans by the millions are standing behind you. We've been calling these damn Republicans and Democrats, telling if you don't fucking do what you say you're going to do, get the fuck up out the office right now. Leave now. Fuck all that way election. Get your ass out right the fuck now. Now, as I continue to give you these praises, whether you like to receive them or not, I want you to understand something. You did not just fight for the future women. You didn't fight for just the women that are going, the girls who are going through it right now. You didn't even just fight for yourself. You fought for the past women who have died with their voices closed and disappeared. You can't hear them no more, but their spirits ring out today. They saying hallelujah to you today for you finding out that power within you You've always been the smartest women. All you're smarter than us. You're more powerful than us. It's now that you guys are believing it. As a group, as a unit. You're not just uniting you women, just you few. You're uniting a country, a world around you. You understand that even in my culture, you guys are standing up for the women who were raped by slave owners, that nobody heard them, nobody cared, and young men and grown people as well. Nobody cared, nobody believed them. That power structure that's been around as long as we can fucking believe. You guys have turned the tides on something that's been going on since caveman days. You're on to something much bigger. So don't think this is just you and just the future and just recent past and just 30 years. You are dealing with hundreds of years of women crying out, saying help. And you guys just answered their prayers. Even though they're in heaven right now, they're applauding you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it strong. And we're looking at you and saying, thank God. Finally. Now, here's the thing. These rich assholes, rapists, pedophiles, they ain't going down easy. Tonight, they've all been putting their money behind shit on how we can still hide this shit somehow. Because they know Trump was in on this shit. You know why I know? Because Donald Trump is throwing people off the ship. But you got to understand something. You can't throw somebody off a ship that you never visited. You can't recognize the name of somebody else doing dirt if you weren't there to witness it. You can't call up names and conjure them out of the fucking blue if you didn't see them do wrong. See, Donald Trump, he said in that little birthday card shaped like a little girl, the woman with the small breast. It was a child that man wrote. And in that little poem, a little message he had, he talked about we alike, me and you, Jeffrey Epstein, more so than people will ever know. That we're enigmas. That we like wonderful secrets. What's wonderful in them? Money and power and domination. You've seen Donald Trump don't care about nothing else. And Jeffrey Epstein, he got caught. And while he still had an ankle bracelet on, he was still raping little children. Those are the things that matter to them. Not their freedom. None of that shit matter. Their power over people matter. Getting away with stuff. Doing things that nobody could figure out what they were doing. That's what an enigma is. They relished in that. That's why when you see Donald Trump talk about rich people, it is the only time this ugly soul smiles. It is the only time this ugly soul puts his hands on other people and starts grabbing them and filling them up. Men, when he knows they're powerful and they got money, I put it not past Donald Trump to put his lips on a dick for that. I don't. Watch him today. Go look at the video. Go look at the video of him and the Saudi prince. He sat there and shook his hand, was doing all. He said, I don't give no fist bumps. I grab his hand, I grab his hand, I grab his hand. Man, get your fucking hands up off of him, man. What's wrong with you? That's the country that kills people for being gay. And your ass is over here grabbing him and shit. His hands was in his lap. You weren't nothing but a half inch away from his penis. And you sitting there like, oh, I'm grabbing. Look at him, I'm grabbing right in front of the camera. This man has no shame in being a dick, or being an asshole. He literally told some press conference. Well, here's the thing, press conference. I mean, the reporters in these gaggles. I challenge you to do something. You ain't gotta listen to me. Who the fuck am I? Some dude on YouTube that cusses a lot. But you guys are in the same profession. Jamal Khashoggi was torn the fuck apart with a chainsaw, with a little bone saw. Do you know how much pain it had to be? Right? And you answered, this lady asked a question that you all should have been asking, but she had the guts to answer from ABC. Praises to you, young lady. She answered it and with professionalism sat there and took the verbal beating that Donald Trump gave her. He molested her with his words right in front of you. And no man that's in there asking fucking questions stood up. You want to tell me? I'm going to tell you what you are. You are a P-U-S-S-Y. I was in that room. I would have told the next question I would have said, excuse me, Mr. President, you had no right to talk to her like that. If anybody in here's got a problem, it's you. Nobody speaks to women like that in front of me. And you got a problem with it, kick me out. But I'm going to stand for what's right. So what if you get to kick the fuck out? The country gets to see. Somebody stand up to this bastard for the shit he does. I'm getting tired of y'all wimping the fuck out. I want to come back to the gaggle. Fuck the gaggle. Stand up for what's right. These women did it. They risked their fucking lives. These billionaires could have had them shot, killed, or what they did to Khashoggi. And they still stood in front of a goddamn camera and did what they did. So quit pussying out. Stand for what's right. You're supposed to be the fucking journalist. You're supposed to be standing for against power. Stand for the fucking people. Why the fuck we watching y'all if y'all ain't gonna stand up for people right in front of you? She was a professional and asked a question that we all wanted to fucking know. Wondering why most of y'all hadn't asked that damn question yet. And when she did, none of you weak ass people stood up for her. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Fuck that job. You can get another one. And I guarantee you, America will stand behind your ass. You'll be richer than you ever thought you could be. You will be a journalist on your own level if you stand up to power. That's your fucking job, journalists. Remember that shit, you weak simps. How the hell you let that man talk to her like that? I seen him talk to a woman that was on the plane and call her a piggy. Fuck that. I would have spit on that bitch for saying that shit. You guys got to get in good fucking trouble. I don't understand you. Just sitting there being wimps. Oh, it's my job. Fuck your job. Your job is for the people. Fuck ABC. Fuck NBC. Your job is for the people. That's why we can't stand half y'all motherfuckers now. You don't stand up for shit. You fall for everything. Always kissing that man's ass. Ain't no damn right to be kissing his ass if he disrespecting people like that. Ain't no president acting like that. You guys, MAGA, you've allowed this disease to come into the White House. The White House used to be, no matter who you liked or didn't like. I didn't like George Bush, but he had much character than that. He respected people more than that. George Bush had shoes thrown at him and he was still fucking respectful. You guys have allowed this piece of shit to tear our country the fuck down. And thank God some of y'all stood up today. I said what I said. And I'm sick of seeing you guys be simps to this dude, allowing him to say the shit he says to you without you as so much as one dude having the sperm cells to stand up to this shit. The fuck you in this business for? None of y'all can claim yourselves to be men. If that man talk to your daughter like that, is this what you're going to do? Ask another question about something else? Or are you going to stand up? Letting that man disrespect a professional woman like that, and she ain't did nothing but ask a question that I was in there asking for. I was right there watching it saying, who's going to ask about Khashoggi? Why is this man in our White House killing American citizens? And you're going to sit here and bow to him because he got money? Talking about, oh, he's going to give us $1 trillion, and he getting all super happy about the money. Do you realize the person's life that he killed? And then what did Donald Trump say? People didn't even like this guy, Khashoggi. People said he worked for the Washington Post. Didn't like him. Nobody wanted him murdered. But the dude you just grabbed his hands and almost touched his penis, that's the dude you sitting here praising. I thought you was America first. I didn't like Bush. I gave him hell too. But the thing is, this man makes Bush look like a freaking like saint. And to call him a man is that's too much respect. This piece of shit. And these sorry ass MAGA Republicans had to wait to get permission from this orange, dusty, old, crappy Crip walker. He less than 10 years away from his grave, and these little wimp ass people can't defeat or go up against him. Right now, Americans are pissed at him. MAGA's burning their hats, some of them saying on feeds, fuck him. Also, like, I'm no longer with him. I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And these wimp ass men are still sitting here clinging on to him. I guess I gotta say yes because, they're pushing us in a corner. You should have said yes because you had some fucking morals. You should have said yes because you saw your daughters, your mothers in these women. Instead, you only said yes because the orange creep told you, okay, I guess you say yes now. And then you bowed to him and said yes. Fuck you and your whole generation. Now, I don't got that shit. And I ain't completely out of my system. And I can't remember everybody's name, but I know the Representative Garcia, the Latin guy who's been fighting and still fighting for the women. Thank you, brother, for what you did. I don't want to get your first name wrong, but I think his last name's Garcia. But yeah. Congratulations, women. Sorry I went off, but I want you to know I'm proud of you. And who am I to be proud? But I'm just an American citizen. And I am in awe of what you did. Because somebody should have did that for you many, many years ago. And I am so sorry that it took women to stand up for you. Men have never proven themselves to you in the public eye. I don't know what your husbands and fathers and sons have done. I'm not talking about them. Not trying to disparage them. But leaders and men in your life have disappointed you. And these women have fought for you. And honestly, for myself, I'm like this. And it's just what I feel right now. I don't know what I'm going to feel when the time comes, but we need a female president. Why do I say that? Because you guys are smarter than us. You do better than us in most cases. And you damn sure have earned it. You damn sure have earned it. So I don't know what woman's running, but you got my vote. If you got our, and I know you will, you got our best interests at heart, the people, whoever's running, woman that's running, I'm voting for you. Point blank, period. In the primaries, at least until they can decide what's going to happen in the general, because you may not make it, but hey, you got your boys' vote. Whatever woman that is running, and hopefully many of them will run. So I have a larger pick to pick from. But you got my vote. It's about that time. I done had enough of these piece of shit men. I'm tired of it. Democrat, Republican, I don't give a fuck about y'all no more. None of y'all men running. I don't give a fuck about none of you. Because you didn't fight for nobody for decades. For decades. They had to fight for themselves for you to listen. This shit should have been in a paper, and it was all over the world. Should have been fighting for them. Worried about everything else but. So it's time to get these cretins out of our country, or into some prison, or ostracized or somewhere. Look at this. I want to speak to the billionaires. We're going to get y'all in the poorhouse. I want you to have 3 square meals a day, wearing stripes or behind bars. That's what I feel about you. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're a designer. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're the computer company. I don't care if we have to lose technology. I don't care if the Teslas are gone, because I don't care about them anyway. I don't care what it is. All y'all should go and your wealth should go with it. In fact, if any of y'all, which is supposed to be billionaires, I want all your money to go to the ladies. They'll do better by it anyway. You in jail and restitution for them all. Take all your cash. Because you don't deserve it. You deserve to be in jail until God, or like God, the devil calls you home. Now I'm done. Now I'm done with that. All right, a little bit. So, in the House today, y'all know by now, in the House, they passed it. The Senate passed it while I was out and about. And I was like, it's going to be a while before they get to the Senate. The Senate passed that shit with the quickness. I was like, holy shit. I thought they was talking about the House. I'm like, yeah, they passed it. And they said, Senate? What the fuck? I didn't have no clue. I'm like, wow. So the Senate done passed it. They didn't have to even vote. They just, well, they did in a way, but they just said, we're just going to go with it. We ain't got to change nothing. And that's huge. I know you understand that, but it's huge because this spiel beforehand, Mike Johnson was sitting there trying his best to beg them to change something in it because it wasn't done. We need to change it because it doesn't have these provisions in it. All bullshit. These provisions are in it. He just wants to change them. Just like Obamacare or ACA has everything we need in it. We just need to add more to it. And they were like, oh, it's not enough in there. Bullshit. Everything's in there that needs to be in there. These 42 million people are doing fine. We need to make it better so that we can add 100 million people, 150 million people. And instead of that, they want to go back to the drawing board, which I'm still pissed off the Democrats for letting that shit slide. We should still be closed, but hey, we wouldn't have got this win. But still, we still should have fought. I think we would have got it the other way around because their political capital is like going down. If the political capital for the Republicans was a dollar bill, their shit's down to like a dollar's worth 35 cents. Couldn't buy shit with it. But Mike Johnson, I was disappointed in Pharrell. I didn't see nothing about Pharrell now. Don't get me started. I was just listening to Pharrell's idiocy. I gotta go look up Pharrell. Our First Lady forever, Michelle Obama, is not ready. Yeah, she's not ready. You can't give it to somebody who don't want it. Even though, I'm pretty sure she don't seen so much crap that she's like, I don't want to be a part of that. That's just some toxic shit that's going on in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she don't want no parts of it. She's a smart woman. And so the to want to do that, to have all that on you, they was already calling her monkey and talking about she had on a sleeveless shirt and just because she had muscles and shit, she's a man. All that. At some point, you got to have your peace. And this individual peace is more than anything. You ain't going to go to your grave fighting for people who don't give a shit about you. Oh, she said America is not ready for a woman. That's right. She did say that. But I don't think she wants it. She doesn't want it. She see what her husband went through. Right there. And what he had to say about it. But I'm going to look up DJ Pharrell because I don't know what he said. Sometimes you think these people are somebody they're not, but rolling for Pharrell. All right, I'll look up after the show. All right, let's get to Mike Johnson's little dumbass saying the shit he got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, for doing such an extraordinary job on all of this. For 43 long days, the Democrats held this House and the entire country hostage. Finally, with the lights back on, this body's returning to our regular legislative session. We have a lot of work to do. My colleagues on this side of the chamber are ready and eager to get back to our urgent legislative work that we promised the American people we would do. We've got to continue lowering the cost of health care. We've got to bring down prices for American families, and we've got to finish the regular appropriations process, just to name a few of those priorities. And I wish I could say that our first order of business would be to get to those urgent priorities, but of course we're here spending time on the floor about something else. This is something we could have resolved last week when we brought a unanimous consent to pass this discharge with the full support of the body. But our friends over here who are arguing today stalled that. They objected to it, and they wanted to have this exercise instead. And that's why we say that this is a show vote. That's what this is. They're making a show of it.
He's trying to blame the Democrats for making a show of something that they talked about for years, but only used it as a tool to win an election. They knew what their people were caring about. They were caring about this. Let's not get it twisted. The Republicans cared about the Jeffrey Epstein thing because it was a part of QAnon. QAnon were talking about Pizzagate. And right after Pizzagate was proven to be false, even though some of them still were batshit crazy and believed in it, because there people came, the guy came with a gun. There is no basement at that piece of place. So they started moving other places. Then they latched on to Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, again, this stuff was in the dark. They were bringing this stuff to light, but nobody knew what it was. We didn't have a clue of all of it. At least I didn't at the time. It wasn't like something that was majorly reported. It was just this guy was doing these things. When we found out, they kept running it, and they found out in their research, Republicans found out that their Republicans were in this cabal about child sex trafficking and just sex trafficking and period sex trafficking, that they had bid into this thing hard. Like, this was an issue that they cared about and only cared about majorly. Democrats were focused on that as well, but it was one of the things they was focusing on. They was focusing on that. They was focusing on food costs. They was focused on building the country, all that. We were trying to lowering prices on gas. Also, that's what we were getting chips, bringing manufacturers back to manufacturing companies back to America. It was just so much. Passing the CHIP Act. We were doing things, right? They were in this deep cabal about just one thing, their people. And Donald Trump and Roger Stone and Steve Bannon saw this underdwelling of these people, like getting into the Epstein thing, and they ran on that, like, only for the longest time. Talking about Democrats aren't talking about it. Democrats don't know that much about it, other than the fact that it's being investigated. When you got Biden in the House, he's being investigated. And here's the disingenuous part. He's talking about, my good friends over here, Democrats, could have done it under Biden. No, they couldn't. It was an investigation. Remember, under Biden, we charged Ghislaine Maxwell for 20 years. You understand that? Under Biden, under Trump, Epstein was arrested in 2019. You didn't go after Ghislaine Maxwell when he was arrested. He died under Trump. Did Trump go after Ghislaine Maxwell? No. None whatsoever. But it's weird how he knows so much about it now, but back then he acted like he didn't know nothing about it. I barely know her. Don't even know her. Don't even know her. Don't know. Who is she? And all of a sudden, she's all over the place, and they talk about you, and like out of 2,300 or some emails, you're in like 1,700 of them. Bruh, you deeper than this shit than anybody other than those two, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. You're the one on topic more than anybody in all of these emails. They're talking about you, Trump. So why would they be talking about you so much? And then they got Michael Wolff in his situation. He's talking about you, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. All of y'all in the midst of all this shit. He's got stories that they don't even have in the emails. And it's about you. And Michael Wolff says he was fixated on you. Even Jeffrey Epstein was scared to say some things because he said you basically were soulless, Trump. He thought you were a piece of shit. And he had to have known he was a piece of shit. You're worse in his eyes. You must have did things that to him was like, I wouldn't do that. And think about that. An egregious, horrible, despicable human thinks you're worse and you have no feelings compared to him. Two birds of a feather flock together. And the other proof is Donald Trump, you know too much. And you keep flapping your lips to get yourself out of trouble. But if I was a detective, you're putting yourself more in trouble. Why? Because you're bringing up names that we weren't fucking looking at. So how do you know about them? How do you know about them? How do you know about these people hanging with them? He's literally talking about they're hanging with at each other all the time. I wasn't hanging with them all the time. Then how would you know who's hanging with them? Yo, my boys that I'm cool with, I have no idea who they hanging with all the time. Because I ain't around. If I ain't around them all the time, I have no clue. The only way I would know who he's around all the time is when I'm around. You don't have to be a genius to realize you don't know who's around who unless you're in the same room. So you putting yourself in the room with these people that you're blaming on the Democrat side, because there's no way for you to know unless you were there or the homie called you and was like, I was just hanging out with Reed. I was hanging out with this. He reported back to you. That's the only way you know, Donald Trump. There's no other way. How else would you know? Wonderful secrets. I hope those wonderful secrets put your orange ass behind bars. Because it doesn't take a genius to realize if you got so much information, it's strange how none of these other people know about how many times the other person was there. Ask Reed how many times Clinton was there. I guarantee he probably doesn't know because you were boys. We don't have any record anywhere yet. We'll wait till these files come out. Of Jeffrey Epstein saying, that was my boy for 50 grand. He didn't say 50 grand, but that was my boy, my best friend for 15 years. Best friend. We don't have anything saying that Bill Clinton was his best friend. We don't have anything saying this Reed dude was his best friend. We don't have anything saying that any of these other people are best friends. Not in the email, not coming out of Jeffrey Epstein's mouth. We do have it against you, Trump. Pretty strange. I'm starting to trip. It's like, wait a minute. All this shit's in our face and we still ignoring it? I mean, Jeffrey Epstein screaming from the grave, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him. And everybody's like, I wonder if it could be him. It's crazy how long it's going to take America to get around it. It's crazy how to figure out when they're going to get to the point. When are they going to get to it and say, you know what? The call is coming from the White House. And it's somebody who leaves an orange stain everywhere he goes.
And it really is a shame. We have some heroic women in the chamber today. I met with many of them a while back. They're in the gallery here. They
said I talked to them a while back. That's when they brought them there for everybody to question. But since then, you ain't gave two shits about them. In fact, you held back the vote by keeping the lady out for like freaking 50 days or some shit like that, which he tried to blame on the Democrats. But you're in power. If the Democrats have all this power that you speak of, then why do you even run for office to be in power? If the Democrats are in power, when you're in power, they make the decisions. And when Democrats are in power, they make the decisions. So you're saying the Democrats always running shit and you guys are useless? I mean, come on. Come on. Nobody's this stupid, yo. I understand that MAGA, but some of them are just not this stupid. They are, but they aren't. They're starting to wake up a little bit. And the reason why they're waking up because the spell's breaking that Donald Trump cares more about the Saudi prince than he cares about American citizens.
have come forward, they have shown their faces, they've used their names to share the unspeakable tragedies that many of them were subjected to, some of them when they were very young. And it is a heroic service to the country. They are seeking justice, and the justice has been delayed for too long. The Department of Justice, many years ago, should have brought these charges. It took too long to do it. And now we're in this process of making sure all the American people get the information, but we have to do it in the right way, After 4 years of Democrat control under President Biden.
You notice how you say the right way. The right way is always a Republican way, and that's called procrastination. We got to do it in the right way. You guys couldn't figure out health care in 10 years. We're gonna wait on you to determine how these women get aid and help. You've had just as long as the Democrats had to fix this shit. And the Democrats have done something, not enough, but something in these past 30 years. The Republicans have done zero in the past 30 years. So something over absolutely nothing. Neither one is like a win-win, but you got Democrats at least a good 5 miles ahead of you. You're still in the back. You're still at the starting point because you ain't did shit but just flap your lips. You've never done anything. It took the Democrats. It took a black woman. It took a black and I think he's Indian. I'm not sure. Indian and Rokana and Thomas Massey. It took those two, and also give Marjorie Taylor Greene, who came on later but still was needed, and other women, especially the women behind the scenes who went through it all. It took all of that to come together. As you may look, Republicans, let me give you something real quick, and some of you Democrats can listen to, but MAGA and MAGA leaders, you got to understand something, and maybe people aren't recognizing it. It may not last, but let's pray on it as it happens. What you just witnessed today is America coming together and fighting against the few. How did I say that? Well, there are a few Republicans, one or two, whatever. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey, two Republicans, as far as in office, that we've seen them running around talking about it. You got Garcia, last name's Garcia. I want to say Richard, but I won't mess up his name. Garcia, and we got Rokana, who put their face out there. I know there's other people, women and so forth, but those are the ones that have been majorly on news most of the time that took over in the media part. You're seeing the country come together and fight something. You guys are over there fighting what? Let's make more money. Let's tariff, and make more money and make the rich happy. You're having party after party with rich people. Today, Saudi Prince, you're out here treating him like he's royalty to us. He's a nobody to us. Nobody. He's not even an ally to us. He's a nobody. And you treating him better than you treating Americans. That dinner that you're holding out for him, you could take that money and give it to the poor here in this country. Give them opportunities, create jobs or something. No, you're out here dancing and prancing around. You can't dance worth the shit because that's all you can do. But still, dancing and prancing around for money. You're no more different than a stripper. You might as well just get on a pole and let him throw some dollars at you. I promise you he'll be happy about it. Because that is nothing more than what he is. A prostitute going around asking every billionaire for money. And what are you giving him, Donald Trump? Check his knees. I bet you they got marks on them. But he's out here prancing around, spending our money, feeding these people, bringing billionaires together, and ain't done shit for the poor yet. He ain't went out and, Americans were without food. Did you see any of these Republicans go out and hold a food pantry of some sort? Did you see them record themselves feeding the poor? You saw Democrats doing it. Did you see any Republicans doing it? Out there helping the citizens. Did you see them? They was on vacation for 50 fucking days. Not one of them had a video of them feeding the poor in their community who didn't have SNAP. Not a one. But they ain't got no problem feeding rich people. This is the third fucking party of billionaires they done had in the last fucking month. The fuck they doing with our money? Take them to fucking Trump Towers or some shit. But don't take them to in our White House. You bringing enemies to us just because they got money. This country's for sale. And that's what's so funny about this shit. It's not to us, to them. You had the Saudi prince laughing today in the face of the question of why did you have Jamal Khashoggi killed and people, he looked and smiled and laughed. Donald Trump didn't even look at the dude. The dude laughed at it. What's so fucking funny? And Donald Trump protected him. He don't know nothing about it. Doesn't that remind you of the same thing he did with Putin? Putin don't know nothing about this. Again, it was our government that protects America that came up and said, he's the one that ordered the killing. That's what our intelligence says. Putin did what he did. That's what our intelligence says. And both times, under one presidency in 2016, that time here it is 225. Both times, he didn't believe Americans. He believed the foreigner who killed, one of them killed our American citizen. So ask yourself, he's giving these men or letting them buy our F-35 planes. If they use that to kill Americans, what's he going to do then? Is he going to start a war with his buddy? Because he's giving him $1 trillion, he's saying. Is he going to start a war with him, or is he going to try and talk his way out of it? Well, we didn't really like those people anyway. They were living in a bad community. We didn't really care about it. That's what he's going to do. Because he's already done it. This American was killed. Instead of protecting us and American citizens, you allowed that dude to step on our soil. Not only in our soil, you let him into our White House. Not only in our White House, you spent our money to feed that bastard. That's what you did. For what? Was he protecting us in something? Are we getting something from it? No, he wants to buy some of our technology. Guys, I want you to understand something. And hear me clearly. What do you think happened? He never got into the White House. But what do you think happened with Osama bin Laden? He was a prince, actually, in Saudi Arabia. Family member. I don't know if he's a family member of this dude. I don't know all the story. I just know the reason why Osama bin Laden hated us is because the military that was staying over there and messing with the oil over there. And he's like, he would be the one that would be in control of Saudi Arabia because his family was in control of it. He would be the one that would be empowered. He was the next in line. The same dude that his father and family, whatever, was here in America. Not this, I don't know about all this, this Saudi prince dude. I don't know how he was related to Osama. I'm not 100% sure. If it was his brother, I don't have no clue. I haven't really did that research. But I do know the story outside of this dude. Osama bin Laden was with his father, but not here in America. His father and others were in America in a meeting or so with Bush and his family. Bush and the family like this with the Saudi prince and his family, the head back then. You could probably find this in a documentary. Michael, I forgot his last name, the documentary he had about America. I remember seeing it many, many years ago. Filmmaker, older white guy. But anyway, Michael Moore. You can probably find it in one of his documentaries about this. But the Osama bin Laden's family, the Saudis, they were here in America when we got bombed. And what did George Bush do? Secretly got them out of the country, got them back to their soil. Instead of holding them as enemies, because they just killed 3,000 people of ours, they didn't hold them. They got them out of the country, protected them. Now, Osama bin Laden, just like this dude right here, America helped them in the particular war that they had. We taught Osama bin Laden to do what he did to us. We armed them. We gave them the power to do the things that they did. We taught them how to fight a war against their enemies at the time because we wanted their oil and so forth. And we made some kind of deal with Osama bin Laden's father, that Osama bin Laden thought That deal's over. We're no longer working together. You know what I mean? Y'all said that y'all, once it was over, once we get finished fighting and we win, which we won, you guys were going to leave. Now y'all can go. They decided to stay. America decided to stay on the soil of their country when they agreed to leave once this particular war was over. It was over for a while, and Osama bin Laden wanted them to go. And what happened? The father, Osama bin Laden, his father, rode with America and kicked his son out of the country. Kept his inheritance. He was still giving him money, but he was kicked out of the country. And once he's kicked out of the country, Osama bin Laden went fucking nuts. Not only do you come on my land and my soil and you stay here, when you say you was going to leave, you renege on it. My dad literally stabs me in the back, and I'm supposed to be the leader of this country, and I'm no longer going to be the leader. I'll be rich, but I won't be the leader. Oh, fuck that. It's time. It's on, America. It's on. And that's how that man ended up doing 9/11, because of that. And this guy, I don't know if he's a part of his family or brother or cousin. I don't know who the fuck he is connected to Osama bin Laden. But we're making that same mistake again. We're giving this family weapons. That all it takes. He's already killed an American citizen. You're giving the dude that killed an American citizen, cut him up with a bone saw. And you're going to give this man our weapons that no other country has, the F-35s or something like that. They're our like prestigious weapons, war weapons. You're going to give it to them, sell it to them. I don't know how many. You're literally selling America down the river. You should never give our most prized possession weaponry to other countries that could use it against us. And don't say they can't use it against us, because they already have. The Saudis is Osama fucking bin Laden. Okay? So they've already done it. And you're going to give them weapons now? Because he doesn't care about America. He cares about money. If you don't believe that, watch him. Watch him. I'll show you Trump here in a little bit.
They were not truthful with us about a lot of things. The Democrats insisted the border was secure. We knew it wasn't. They insisted that inflation was transitory. We knew it wouldn't be. They misled the American people about the obvious mental and physical decline of the previous commander-in-chief. And now those same Democrats are demanding transparency.
What has this got to do with anything? This man's bringing up everything. They got toe jam. They got, they get pregnant every 3 years. They got this and the third. You know what I'm saying? They got red toenails and orange fingernails. It just doesn't match. You know, I don't understand it. The fuck are you talking about? This is about these women, and you bringing up shit that ain't got shit to do with nothing. Rambling about nothing. They want transparency. They got a guy that didn't have a problem. You want to talk about transparency? Donald Trump is a nut job, and you're over here licking each nut. You're the royal nut licker. And you want to talk about transparency. You are changing your vote, not because you gave feelings for these people. You were just a few days ago, and 50 days before that, oh, I can't do it. Nancy Pelosi did it. But Nancy Pelosi did it because the person who is going to be sworn in chose the date of 30-something days or 20-something days later. It was that person's choice. Oh, okay, let me pick another one. No, fuck that. You brought up an example just because you thought it was the same that people wouldn't look it up. They fact-checked you on the fucking spot, and he had nothing else to say. But let me think of another one. Why would you think of another one? Why didn't you bring up one that was really legitimate the first time? You just know your base can't stand Nancy Pelosi, so you threw out a little Nancy Pelosi lie bomb that your people thought was the truth. And this is another interview that he had. This dude is complete and utter trash. God is nowhere near within him. I don't know why this man brings up Jesus' name. Jesus is a euphemism from him, meaning something totally different. I don't know what it means. demon. I don't know if it means I'm hiding in the closet. I don't know what Jesus means to him, but it doesn't mean the same as Christians think it is. It is some other name of something else. Because this dude's a demon. He sat there and looked everybody in the eye and lied through his fucking teeth. With the calmness, like as if he's just smoothly telling you the truth. Believe me.
Suddenly, transparency is their new word. Out of nowhere, they've taken a curious concern in the Epstein investigation, all in the name of that, in the name of transparency. But the question has been asked here many times.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But here's a question. Let's just say the Democrats did just come out of nowhere and decided to back what the Republicans were saying was going to happen. Out of nowhere, they came and started backing the Republicans. Okay. What's wrong with that? That should make you happy that they finally came around. But no. No, once they came around, oh, we don't want it. What do you mean you don't want it? They came around. Finally, you don't fall for, you getting what you ran on. What? Why not? You know why not? Because it was a talking point to get the people who are loyal to them to fall into this loyal stupor and do whatever he tells them to do. If he says don't care about it, they're supposed to turn off their care like that. They're supposed to be sheep. And what's tripping them out is their sheep are leaving the flock. And they're like, wait a minute, you guys, what happened? It ain't working no more. It ain't working like it used to. To come out and tell you the opposite of what they just told you the day before, and what they said the next day is the truth. The day they said before, who cares? That shit didn't work anymore. They sent out Megyn Kelly to tell you that raping a 14-year-old is quite different than raping an 8-year-old. One of them's pedophilia. The other one, it's barely legal. And I hope you got a chance to see this 14-year-old girl on TikTok literally go in respectfully on Megyn Kelly, saying, I'm 14 and I'm a kid. I'm not barely anything but a kid. Thank you, young lady. The disgusting level in which Megyn Kelly and whomever the hell she was talking to, because don't forget her, if you see that video, give her hell too, because she was sitting there just, No. That was highly sickening that two women just sat there and just justified a man raping a 14-year-old is different. It's not really rape. It's nearly 14. And you don't call somebody a pedophile. Do you know, and you watched this before, but it still gets on my mind. It still bugs the shit out of me that Megyn Kelly literally said for years, because Jeffrey Epstein forced a 14-year-old to have sex with him, that he was not a pedophile because she was 14. She was barely legal. 15, barely legal. 16, barely legal. No, ma'am. Barely legal is 18. And somehow you've taken 18 and subtracted all the way down to 14. This is not Little House on the Prairie era. Sorry, we've advanced. Take your little cave ass somewhere else. That's what you mean by make America great again? We don't want no parts of it. Man. Then as you saw it, she did eviscerate her. That kid is a star, right, Lynn? I was like amazed by her. I watched it twice. I was like, there you go, sis. Tell him what it is. Her mother didn't even want her to do it, but she felt compelled. And I'm glad she did. Felt compelled, because it's like the joining of young women getting their power and speaking. She took control of the situation and stood up. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Put a face and a voice to it, and you claimed your power. And you did it eloquently. Just an amazing young lady. and young girl at that. Don't give her like a woman label. She is a girl, a child, amazing young. And I know you don't want me to call you a child, but I know how it is. And my kids are 14. They thought they, anyway, amazing person. You know how we get messed up, you know what I'm saying, nowadays. And I have no problem with it, with labels. It's so crazy. At a certain point, we was like, I don't want to be labeled. And now people got like micro labels. It threw me off when, you know, I started figuring out the pronouns, and I was like, I'm like, you know what? There was a point where we just didn't want labels at all. Don't label me. Don't label me. Now it's like mega labels. I'm a LMOP, LMOQR to the second. I'm like, what the fuck is all that? What is that? You're human. What's going on, human? It's crazy how things have changed, man. And I'm rolling with it. I'm trying to figure it all out, but it's funny to me. It is hilarious how we got major labels now. But anyway, that video was dope. I enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and continue and watch this idiot speak.
During the debate on the floor, and everybody questioning why it is the Democrats have done this right now, have to look at the obvious facts. The Democrats had all the Epstein files in their possession for 4 long years under the Biden presidency.
This man is a lawyer. And like I said, look at him, calmly speaking. And therefore, I wish God created us that when we lie, we turned a different color. I wish he just did that shit. I wish he created us like that. So this fool would be turning purple. Just be like, what? You're lying again. You're lying again. Because this man's lying through his teeth. Now, we understand that the Democrats did have this information for 4 years. But guess what? It was under investigation for that time. You know who closed the investigation? Donald Trump, as soon as he got in office. One of the first things he did was close this investigation. That's why he don't want it open. That's why he don't want to sign this paper and then turn around last minute to do it, because it's taken on this fire that he can't put out. But it was under investigation. You can't put out information about a case that is still under investigation. They charged Ghislaine Maxwell under Biden. They were still looking into other people. Donald Trump had his people as soon as he got in. No more, done. We don't have anything else. There's no case. We saw my file on my desk, and I'll check it out when I get there. Oh, nobody's doing anything. It's fine. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to chase anything down. It's over. What are y'all still talking about it for? I mean, it just happened this year. We only had this asshole in office since January. It feels like 30 years, but it's been since January. And these fools think that people are so stupid that they can't remember shit from January of this year. And this didn't even just happen in January. It was like in February or something like that when he did this shit. End of January, February. I'm like, dude, you guys closed this case. The Dems still had it open. And the only people who've charged somebody in this is a Democrat. As far as president. Now, it's the government that did it. But the Democrat leaders are the ones who were in office when somebody got tried and put in jail for 20 years. And lo and behold, get Republicans back in, and you start treating this pedophile, Ghislaine Maxwell, this deviant, who is named by these women to be one of the culprits in all of it. Orchestrator, groomer, rapist, pedophile, part of it all. Not just, oh, I stopped by. No, a part of it, planning it. And you took this lady out of a prison she's supposed to be in and put her in Club Fed and gave her a dog. And let people come and visit her when she's not supposed to have visitors. They just come in anytime they want. Republicans are the ones who are doing everything to get rid of this case. They closed it, and they gave Ghislaine Maxwell special treatment. What the hell is this man talking about? Under the Democrats is the only reason why she's in jail. And under the Democrats, she tried to sell information about Trump while he was running to the Democrat so that she can get out of jail. And they chose not to do it. So if anybody you want to look up to in this situation, it would be Democrats, or at least their offices, their DOJ, their FBI, their CIA, all those people, you got to look up to them because of the fact that they got these people and they were investigating these people and they were running down the line on these people and they ran out of time and Donald Trump came in and closed it. The Democrats didn't say there was nobody else to find. They were gathering evidence still. They said it's over 1,000 people. Just want y'all to know. Gourmet meals, John, it's crazy. So this man's trying to make it seem like the Republicans were doing something. No, you guys were lip service. You did nothing. Just like your lip service for 10 years about health care and you have no plan. There really aren't any concepts. That concept was a stretch to get her to shut up. They don't have concepts. They've never worked on it.
The Biden Department of Justice had these files, and no one on this side who is breathless today about the urgency of this release ever said a word about it.
Have a good night.
And it was the Democrats who could have urged President Biden's Department of Justice to go beyond prosecuting just Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
You could have done it too. You were the guys running for it, right? You said you were the ones that was asking for Jeffrey Epstein? The Republicans were? Did you put forth any kind of bill? Or try to even get it passed or even present it to anybody so that you could charge these Democrats or whomever that's supposed to help to hurt these kids? Did you do that? You didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't. Once you got in control of the House under the after 2 years of him he being the president, Biden being the president, you guys were running the House and you couldn't govern. You spent a year or so and millions of our dollars trying to get Joe Biden's son, who was never in office. Did you hold any meetings to try and get Epstein's people put behind bars? You did not. You were in control of the House, weren't you? I can't hear you.
But they didn't do it. And so it's a fair question to ask today, why now? Why the sudden urgent interest in Jeffrey Epstein? Look, we know why. It's because the Democrats were never interested in transparency or executing justice or protecting the victims of this unspeakable tragedy before. The simple truth is obvious for everybody to see.
But they are now, so jump on the ship and shut the fuck up already. I mean, it's like, you're the ones been fighting it, and you're the ones in power. If anything, you should have led with this and would have made the Democrats look like, why weren't you helping them out? Soon as you got into office, that should have been the first thing y'all did was release these documents. Donald Trump could have done it. He released other shit. He released the JFK stuff, supposedly. He was releasing the Martin Luther King Jr. stuff without you guys telling them they can do it. He could have released her stuff or Jeffrey Epstein stuff. He chose not to. So how are you on a high horse, bro? You got all the levers to make this shit happen without even the Democrats ever being a part of it. And you could have took 100% credit because we ran on it. As soon as we got in, we did it. Oh, you would have won. But the reality is you used it as a tool, a political tool to get people riled up on your side and hate the Dems and hate them. You pushed it on this QAnon shit and said it was all Democrats. It was all Democrats who was doing this to the kids. And therefore, the Republicans and MAGA hated on us, called us all kinds of names. It built what you needed to happen, division, so that you could win. You got in, and you want to continue to use that division to keep your people under your thumb. And what the Democrats have done is take these people out from under your thumb with all your fucking rhetoric and actually did an action. And what happens here is you're pissed off that the Democrats actually moved on it and took your fucking talking point away. Now you don't have that talking point anymore. It's on your side to decide whether you really give a fuck. And that's why it's on Donald Trump's desk, because it's a fucking hot potato. Soon as it dropped out of your hands, it went to the House. Oh shit, we don't want to do nothing with this. We don't want to do nothing with this. Hand it over to Trump. Now Trump's going to have to come up with a lie or sign it. I guarantee you, it's a case that we started. We're going to open up and get them all. So therefore, we can't hand you anything because we're going to get it out there and we're going to get these people behind bars. We got you. We're fighting for you. But we just can't hand it out just yet. Hot potato. It took the House no time. We should be right now reporting in the news that Donald Trump signed it right now. That bit's still up. He stay up till 3, 4 in the morning. I guarantee you, a truth will come out before he signs it. He'll be focused on a truth social post before he even gets close to even signing that. That tells you his priority. He don't give a fuck about the women and what happened today. He pissed off that you guys went and did this behind his back. He couldn't do anything about it. And he had to go along with it so that he wouldn't look like the dude that's holding out on Jeffrey Epstein because his name's all fucking over it. I don't trust Pam Bondi. I don't trust cockeyed Kash Patel. I think they're going to either take his name out, redact it, of course, redo these documents so that they aren't the same anymore, make it look like. I don't know what they're capable of, but I promise you, if this man said yes to it, they have been doing some devious shit behind the scenes to eliminate him from it. Why else would you have 24 hours of people in the FBI, Kash Patel, searching for Donald Trump's name? What you gonna do with it once you find his name? Bury it? I hope there are copies somewhere so that whatever you guys had fucked with, another copy will show you fuck with it. I pray that's the case. But that's what it is. Pam Bondi let Epstein go the first time. Yeah, Alice Acosta, all them. All right. A couple more. Like, I'm only going to go a little bit longer. I ain't going to do this whole thing. I'm sick of this dude already. I'm going to do Trump here in a second.
This is a political exercise for Democrats, and it pains me to say it. I wish that was not the truth, but it is, and it's undeniable.
It's a liar.
This is as deceitful and dishonest.
Look at deceitful. God just constrained his throat as soon as he said that. He tried to take it out of his mouth before he said it. But, you know, that free will kept it going. This fool was like, that's good pain. He should have gave you a stroke.
Pointless stunt was to shut the government down. Democrats are using the Epstein tragedy, the unspeakable evils that this guy committed with his trafficking ring and all of the abuses that they made these young women go through. They're using that as a political weapon to try to distract from their failures as a party, and to try their best to try to tie President Trump somehow into this wretched scandal. The president...
What has Trump got to do with it? See how he wove that in there? Tried to attach Donald Trump to it. Let me speak for a second on this one. The women have said that they didn't bring up Trump's name. Some of the women said that Donald Trump, they voted for him. They're Republicans, so they were a part of MAGA. At least one or two of them were. They voted for him. Virginia Giuffre, I don't know, in her book supposedly she said Donald Trump was nice to her or whatever. I don't know exact wording, but that's what was said. I don't know whether that was to protect herself from getting harmed. I don't know what it is. But the documentation, according to the young ladies who are now older women, said that in the files, you will find what you need. So obviously there's stuff there that they actually hid that was horrendous for them to go through that trial. And it wasn't necessarily public. So we get to see what they've closed. But when you get through all of this shit, Donald Trump's guilty of something. But these people did not blame Donald Trump for shit. They literally said, we're not blaming Trump, these women. So he automatically said, they're trying to tie Donald Trump to it. Well, maybe the Democrats are, because of the fact that his name's all over the place. And instead of just letting the files fly, this fool had somebody had 24 or something like that, or 100, whatever it was, work 24 hours straight on shifts to find all of Donald Trump's names, because he's trying to find something that he hope is not there. But what happens when they find what he doesn't want found? What do they do with it then? Because that's the only reason you would have people search it for his name, is because he's worried about something and he wants you to find it. And if you found it, what you gonna do with it then? And if it wasn't there, aren't you going to be inquisitive as to why he asked you to search for all of his name? What's the logic behind it? It's something that he feared, and he's hoping it's not there. Either way, these are signs of guilt, not innocence. Just saying.
It had nothing to do with it. He's been very clear, and he has nothing to hide, and that's why he's endorsed the vote today. I suspect this vote will be probably unanimous. But here's the important point that everybody needs to understand. We have been advocates of maximum transparency, but we have also insisted that the victims be carefully protected.
No, you didn't. Quit lying. Enough of the lies, dude. Enough of the lies. We're done with this heifer right here, man. We're done with them. We're done with them. Professor Four Eyes. We done with you. I wear glasses too, so I ain't got nothing against Four Eyes. I've been a Four Eyes since I was 18, so I got a right to say it. Dipshit Four Eyes over here, lying through his teeth. I'm done with him. Be gone. Now, I want you guys to understand something. This video right here is how Donald Trump treated the reporter, and how Donald Trump did some things. And we're going to talk about what happens here, and then we're going to move on. I have not cleared Donnie.
Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest?
Yes.
And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust
Who are you
you?
with?
And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news.
Okay, think about this for a second. She led with respect. Mr. President, your royalness, or whatever it is, royal, whatever you call them. She led with the respect of their both names and their positions. And she asked questions that the American people do want to know, and that 9/11 people are pissed off that he's there, because that's like Osama bin Laden's family in the White House who killed their family members. Just sitting right there wanting to buy weapons from the place that we thought weapons of mass destruction was coming from. We're about to sell that country weapons of mass destruction. Are you hearing me? She asked the most poignant question, the perfect question that I believe all Americans outside of simps want to know. And the only one that I saw. And he does this to her, calls ABC fake news, whatever, horrible news, and reams her.
ABC fake news, one of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America.
Donald Trump didn't have any fucking businesses. He had a bunch of little stints on everything. He had from water to steaks to 501c3s, nonprofits that were highly illegal, acting illegally, buying shit for himself and paintings and shit with money that was supposed to go to a nonprofit organization helping kids and so forth. And he was using it to take care of him and his own family, paying bills and shit with it. All of that. So much so that him and his family cannot own, except for his daughter, cannot own a 501c3 in the state of New York because of the fact that they frauded thousands of Americans out of millions of freaking dollars. This man had a academy in which he was robbing people, telling them they're going to be with his best people. Never mind the fact, I want to keep it 100. I keep it a buck. Damon John had the exact same thing. I got suckered by Damon John, and it was the exact same academy as Donald Trump. Same strategy, everything. Damon John had one called the Damon John Academy. Same thing as the Trump Academy. They had the exact same shit. Lied to you about who was supposed to help you out. said they were their main people, and this is my number one, my number two, and you guys are going to get to have them and connect with them and all that shit. You paid all this money to go check it out. Free first, then it went up to $1,500. Then after that, they signed you on for some shit, and if you wanted their help, you started paying like $40,000 or $100,000. Depends on what they said. It was all the fraud. What Damon John did was a fraud. What Donald Trump did was fraud. It was the exact same fucking thing. It was cookie cutter. So Damon John, don't do business with that brother. Do not. He had the exact same shit. He just didn't get caught. His shit fizzled out. Donald Trump was thriving for some reason. But that's the shit. 100%. Keep it a buck. I ain't got no reason to lie. So this man out here being 100% crook. 100% crook. And he's out here trying to tell other people who are good and who's bad. Donald Trump. The unmitigated gall.
Very successful, and I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this...
He ain't even bringing in $21 trillion. This man be making up numbers. If you got $21 trillion coming into the country, pay off our debt now. Pay off our debt. I mean, put up or shut up. Pay off our debt. I'm ready to start paying it off. Put like at least $6 trillion on the debt. Fiscally conservative, right?
Gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about, whether you like him or didn't like him.
So people didn't like this gentleman they're talking about. He's talking about Jamal Khashoggi. And he has no deference to the man being died. Not only died, he went in a whole man and he came out in pieces. Killed and chopped up while still being alive. Could you imagine the screams and all that just by them cutting off his pinky? But they cut this man's entire body up and put it in a bag. How long did it take him to die? And this man's talking about him like people didn't like him. I don't care if you hated somebody. They don't deserve to die. And even if this person was horrific and needed to go to jail, they don't deserve to die like that. And you're sitting next to a man that ordered, according to our intelligence, he is the one who ordered it to happen. And he's in our White House, sitting on we as American citizens don't have the access to the White House like that. And you brought in somebody who killed one of us because he's going to give us money. You're selling us down the river.
Things happen, but he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Embarrass our guest, and he knew nothing about it. Donald Trump is vouching for the guy that our intelligence says did it. And Donald Trump, who lacks intelligence, is going to sit here and tell us that this lady, that she asked a question that our intelligence, she trusted our intelligence. MAGA, how is this America first? How is this making America great again? This is not the first dictator of another country that this man vouches for that tells us that our intel is bad. And their word trumps our intelligence. Understand something. Intelligence is not just somebody here in America saying, I heard it through the grapevine. They didn't do that. No. Our intelligence is more intricate than that. Our intelligence is that we got people inside. We got people, spies and so forth all over the place. We got people who work next to this man, who are next to him, that are feeding us. We got people who are a part of his culture that are hanging around him, security, whomever. or they're giving us information. This is how our spy shit works. It's intricate. Just like the other, the Democrat, I think he's a senator whose Asian girlfriend was a spy. That's how we do people. He got caught up. Okay. You don't think that's happening for us, other countries, where his girl that he was, this prince dude, whatever it is, the girl that he was having sex with last night could totally be a spy giving us information. Those are the types of things that we have this country. You think we're safe because of what? We just got charmed, that we got nuclear weapons? You think that's the reason why we're safe? We got nuclear weapons and we still had 9/11 happen to us. The nukes ain't the damn thing. You got to figure out who the fuck did it to you. You just gonna nuke everybody? Exactly. So these people aren't scared of these nukes if they want to fuck with us. And so this man killed an American citizen, and Donald Trump's protecting him right in front of us. Gonna vouch for this dude. He knew nothing about it. How is that America first? How is that, make America great again? You guys, MAGA, you don't even like foreign people, period. And you got a man here who is protecting somebody and throwing a shield up for somebody. Didn't even want him to even answer the question. And did you hear what he said? Disrespecting our guest. Did you hear that shit? This man is a part of a family that killed 3,000, some of us, Osama bin Laden. Okay? And because of his little cheddar, Donald Trump don't forgot all that. I thought Donald Trump was the one who saw, Muslim people dancing on top of buildings when they killed New Yorkers. And he didn't like Muslim people. He had a complete Muslim ban. I ain't saying he's Muslim, but he's Arab. He said he's got this complete Muslim ban. Arab people and all that were not supposed to come into our country. That dude is now kissing the butt of a man that killed an American. And then on top of that, his family members killed 3,000 Americans. This man's got over 4,000 in his lineage, in his bloodline, 4,000 American lives on him. And this dude is kissing his ass for money. Bringing him into the White House for money. Brought him again in 2018 into our house for money. He should have never had an opportunity to stand on our soil. Fuck, what kind of money he got? Killing Americans, and we're going to sit here and be hanging with you? Taking his word over the investigation of our intel. At what point in time are you guys going to sit around, MAGA and human beings out there, and start realizing that Americans working for America to save America are for America? What other reason would they be working behind the scenes, risking their lives, being spies where they could get cut up and shit and turn and put into pieces? Why are they out there fighting for us if you won't fucking believe in them, but you'll believe in this orange turd who has never fought for this country, had bone spurs every time they called him up, has been a flake every time you needed him, has never supported anybody. He had Marjorie Taylor Greene for 6 years dancing and prancing around, putting on hats and disrespecting presidents and shit with MAGA this and MAGA that. She was all into the MAGA world. She drank everything, the Kool-Aid, she had the bananas, she did everything. And this man calls her a traitor. He ain't never did shit for her. And he disrespects everybody. Disrespects everybody. And these people are still like, oh, shut up. I mean, come on, grow up already. I don't know what you saw him in him to begin with. He lies every time he opens, he breathes, he lies. The only time this man doesn't lie is when he stops breathing.
Just yes, Mr. President,
Please, go.
if you allow me to answer. I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality.
What? 9/11 wasn't a fucking reality? See, you can't say I feel bad for something that your family did and then say but on the end of it. No. Your country killed our people. We always never forget, never forget. There's no but to it, bruh. That alone should have got him kicked out the White House. Sir, you had a little too much of a but in that situation. That but, take the but out. Take the but out. Ain't no but to it. But means nothing else. I mean, whatever. Let's do this. But this. No, ain't no buts to it.
Based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden, he used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11.
Yeah, it was destroy the relationship. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. It was to destroy the relationship. But you're trying to build a relationship with us? What's the purpose of that? What do you got we want? Oil? What? What else?
So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He know that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to prove him wrong and to build our relation, to continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. About the journalists, it's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or nothing illegal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that. And it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Mr. President.
So you're telling me in your country you did an investigation and couldn't find out who cut a man's body up? You couldn't find out who did it? We have video of him walking into a building and never coming out. How hard is it to find somebody who got cut up in a building? Were they wearing gloves? Where's the investigation information? I don't know where it's at. But I do know, and I believe my country before I believe yours, sir. My country did its due diligence and found out that you ordered the hit. I don't need to hear your voice. I don't need to hear a but. I don't need to hear shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear it. People have died for less. This country has blown up people for less. Donald Trump has blown up ships, little boats with people fishing because he believed, no evidence, that they were carrying drugs toward countries that ain't even close to ours. And the fact that you killed an American, and the fact that you're a part of this Osama bin Laden family or lineage or whatever the hell it is, you shouldn't be on our soil. Because you can't say never forget and then welcome the people who ended up killing our people in New York, our American citizens, into our White House. What such disrespect to bring this piece of shit human into our house. I mean, what is it, America? Good night, Mike. Woke Mike. What is it, America? That we allow this into our home and say that we're for America? How? How do you allow somebody who killed Americans, whose family members were a part of 9/11, or at least power, whatever structure they had over there? I understand that he left Saudi Arabia because his dad kicked him out and his father didn't want this to happen. I get it, but it's still your lineage. And how are we supposed to believe you? What do we know about you? You killed an American citizen. Just like your brother or family member, whatever, leadership, whatever you're part of with him, I don't know. He unalived Americans, many of them, by throwing planes and shit and stuff. You unalived American by cutting them up. What's the difference? Your brother mass killed, you tortured and killed an American. Same thing. You kill one of us, you get all of us, except for those seeking money. And Donald Trump is a traitor for this. He is a traitor for bringing these people who are our enemies into our homes. The White House is our home. Just for money. Selling out America. One country at a fucking time. This man went on a tour of countries accepting gold and cash and planes and shit. What the fuck has he done for American people since he's been in office? Throw tariffs on us? How is that pro-America when you've done a billion things for rich people and ain't done shit for the poor? When they were hungry, waiting on food and SNAP, how many of you were out there feeding them? It was American citizens who put their nickels together and went out and fed people who didn't have anything. It was not this rich leadership bullshit. This is America. This is your fault for wanting a business person. Do you see what business people are like? They're greedy. They don't have a problem with unaliving you to make a buck. Donald Trump just talked down a man being chopped up and supported a dude that our country has admitted and has done the homework and found him to be the person who ordered an American to be chopped up. Donald Trump stood in front of that bullet. I put out a video today and I said these things. I'm a father, a parent, 2 kids. I'm highly protective of them. I've told some of y'all the stories that I've in my lifetime about what I would in my mind what I was going to do to people who fuck with my kids. But in my heart of hearts, this is within the core and the fiber of my being, and every parent I know feels this way, not unless you're a piece of shit parent. I've always had those thoughts. I said, if anything happened or any kind of situation happened, I don't care if it was a car coming and I saw my kids, I'm throwing myself in front of it. If it was a bullet coming, I throw myself in front of it. My kids is everything. I throw myself in front of that bullet. And every parent that's a good parent would do something like that. That vision comes in your head. You think, I'm going to throw myself in front of it because I'm going to protect what's mine. And you're willing to love your kids so much you take a bullet for them. And having that mindset, I thought of these ladies and I thought of my kids being the same age. I would take a bullet for them. To the death, I would fight for their innocence and for their happiness and for their joy. That's my job to do as a parent. Well, Donald Trump, if you look at America, and we're supposed to be here to protect it, it's ours. It's our democracy. When a bullet was shot to protect America or to protect this dude, Donald Trump jumped in front of the bullet and protected the dude who's killed Americans and said, fuck you to America. He didn't protect America. He protected the person who has killed Americans. When it comes to these pedophiles, instead of jumping in front of a bullet to protect these women who used to be girls, he protected the pedophiles instead of the child. That's the type of person Donald Trump is. He protected the pedophiles all this time instead of the child. And he keeps on doing it. America, that's ours. This is our baby. This is our experiment. And nobody gets to fuck it up just because they want to. Claim America as your child and protect her with everything you got. There's no way in hell this man gives a shit about America. You can't let a person who's killed not 3 or 4 or 5,000, one fucking American. You can't let that person come into the White House the way he killed an American. If it was a war, I get it. We lost some on both sides. But this man chopped up an American, and Donald Trump protected the dude who chopped him up instead of the American side. How is that making America first? He chose Saudi Arabia over America just now. You just saw him support Saudi Arabia over an American reporter and her American life. Jamal Khashoggi didn't mean shit to him. But I guarantee if somebody walked up and punched that Saudi prince in the face, an American, Donald Trump would pick that Saudi person up and say, arrest that American right now. Because he is on the side of billionaires. He's on the side of money. That's the only thing that makes him happy. He is not an American. He's a traitor to America. I said it. And where's the lie?
Why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a
Steve,
terrible question.
How you doing?
And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it.
Right?
You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
See, here's this like 30-second, 45-second rant of just disrespecting her. Some reporter should have stepped up. Once this was over, some reporter, hopefully male, could be woman too, but hopefully male, should have stepped up and said, you're a horrible human being. To treat this woman the way you did when she asked a professional question. And talking about disrespecting this Khashoggi, this Saudi prince. I want you guys to understand something. The leader that is an ally to us, right? The president of Ukraine, fighting for America too, because we're a part of NATO, right? We're part of all that. And all these countries around Russia, Poland and all the others. If Ukraine falls, Putin has promised to take the other countries one by one. He did that back in like the 80s or 90s or some shit. He said that. And he has been on a steady move to do exactly that. That man came to that White House, and how did he get treated? Talking about respect, this guy, our guest. The leader of Ukraine is asking for money. And Donald Trump treated him like he was a poverty case. You're getting money from me. You need to do what I tell you to do. Blah, 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 blah. He's begging money from this dude. And look how he treated him. Look how he treated him. He protected him like it was his girl. Let me get this for you. Let me get this one for you. You don't have to do anything. Just sit there and look handsome. Okay, I'm going to go off on this woman, disrespect this woman, call her all kinds of names, but not protect the fact that what she said was 100% of what Americans were thinking. And if you were really for America, you would have thought about that too and wouldn't have invited a man whose family was a part of 9/11 and a man who killed an American citizen who worked for the Washington Post that was a reporter that didn't deserve to die, and especially didn't deserve to die the way he died. And you didn't care. And you still don't care. You care more about his killer. Someone who killed an American, and you're supposed to be the leader for America. You should be doggedly fighting for our lives to be saved. Here you are doggedly fighting for somebody who killed Americans and whose family and leadership is the cause behind 9/11. Never forget. I think Trump forgot. Better yet, I don't think he ever cared. He used it as a political football to try and get elected.
As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does?
If he was a sick pervert, then why was you hanging out with him 2017, well after you kicked him out, and invited him to your Thanksgiving party? Huh? I mean, the emails prove it, Donald Trump. He was in your Mar-a-Lago Thanksgiving 2017. Why was he at your party if you thought he was gross in 2000? What was that when that happened? 2008? When that happened, and you saying you kicked him out before 2008, before the trial, before he was considered a pedophile for a second there, while he was in a case, you said you have it out before that. So you wrote that little card or whatever that birthday card. I think that was when he turned 50 or something like that. Whatever it was, that was like 2003 or 2000, somewhere around there, something. So you knew way back in the 2000 single digits that he was a piece of shit or whatever you just called him, pervert or whatever, but you invited that pervert to your party in 2017, and there's emails to prove you did so. I mean, damn. This is what I always tell people. Don't lie, because you can never cover it up, because you'll never remember your lie. This man makes up a lie every few seconds. He don't remember them. That's why they all over the place. That's why he contradicts himself. He'll lie, and then 30 seconds later, he'll contradict the lie he just said and just roll with the one he just created. Oh, I must have said something wrong. The one I just said is the one
Have Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend.
He said he was with him every single night, every single weekend. Trump, how would you know this? How would you know this, bruh? Do you guys watching me, do you know who I'm with every single day and who every single night? You don't. That's because you aren't with me every single day and every single night. You know where I'm at when I'm doing the show. I'm at home. But that's all you know. So this man knows who he's with every night? How do you know this, Donald Trump? This is a billionaire who could literally be on a plane to Tokyo every night and back to the United States the next day. This is a man who can travel to New York, Chicago, Mississippi, to another city, or to Hawaii, to Mexico in one day with one jet that he owns. And you're telling me a man who has a busy fucking calendar and raping women left and right, you know where he is every night? You're telling on yourself, bruh. You're telling on yourself. Donald Trump is not smart. He's telling on himself.
Lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today.
Can we just all, even you, MAGA, understand that every time Donald Trump says hoax, he's lying? Nothing's a hoax. How's this a Democrat hoax when you just told them to investigate Clinton, the Reid guy, and some Larry Summers? They're with him every night, all night, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You just gave information for the news to follow. You threw those little seeds out there for them to follow those people. And then you're saying it's a hoax. Which one is it? Like I said, Donald Trump lies, and the next sentence he comes out with negates the shit he just said. If it's a hoax, why look at those people? You just said, look at those people. The next line is a hoax. Why would you follow a hoax? But you just said they should. I told you, and people he's not cognitively there. That's the reason why he takes a cognitive test. They look at this man, and I guarantee you, this man is talking about apples one second, talking about kumquats the next, talking about shoe fungus and shit the next minute. And they're like, what is wrong with this dude? Let him get into the hospital and see what's going on. He just keeps talking about rambling about all kinds of shit. And America's so used to this man's just all over the fucking place that they think it's normal. It's not. It's not. I know elderly people that keep saying when they talk, they don't all over the fucking place, negating what they just said a second later. They have Alzheimer's most of the time when that shit's happening. But this dude, oh, nothing's wrong with him. And listen, earlier, Mike Johnson was saying, the Democrats had Joe Biden and they knew something was wrong with him. They weren't being transparent. What's wrong with Donald Trump? You're not being transparent because something's wrong with him. Even a blind child can see that.
It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me.
How do you know how much money he gave? And why are you researching how much money something got when you said the case was closed and you don't care? So you just got in your pocket some letter that tells you how much these people you just mentioned received money, or the Democrats received money from this dude. Why? What does that prove? I mean, we can research it, but what does it prove? What are you trying to say? There's nothing in Donald Trump's pocket, y'all. He's lying. You know why I know he's lying? Remember Mr. Chart, the guy who brings out his little, see right here, this right here is how much money we're making right here. It goes all the way up. Look at my charty chart. Look at my little charty chart right. If he had it, he'd be showing it to you. Look, and it looks like, what's his name, got $2 million and I got $4 million. That's Donald Trump, Mr. Example. He got his little stupid shit. He would have it in his hand to show it to you, because that's how he works. Now he's like, I got something in my pocket. You ain't got nothing in your pocket. Not a damn thing.
But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's is your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something.
So why not just sign it now?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC, because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you
I think that we should look into Donald Trump threatening a station because they don't like him or don't like the fact that they get lied to by him. Because at some point, people got to start suing him. I mean, come on. This man is he called Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor, and she started getting death threats. Done it to a lot of other people, and they get death threats, and he knows the power of what he does. He just said that this woman right here is a horrible person, blah, 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 and lied about stuff that she didn't do it, and said that he was going to threaten the station. ABC, you should be suing Donald Trump, okay? If you had any balls, you'd be suing Donald Trump for $1 billion for trying to ruin your name. Defamation of your station. The things he said about your station, defamation. You should be right now suing him for it. We've gotten death threats. I know you already have. I know she already has. You've gotten bomb threats possibly at your station. You've had all kinds of people call you up and down, cussing you out at ABC. You are losing money having to waste your time answering those fucking questions. Those people keep calling you because of this dipshit saying what he's saying. You guys need to start suing him. Just like he sues you for $1 billion, hit him up for $1 billion. He's mad because you don't like him. You should be like, you're defaming me. The shit we brought up was questions America wanted to know. The shit you brought up was nothing but lies and defamation. You can't prove none of it. Sue him for a shit ton. $1 billion. Sue him. Make a statement. America be right behind you. Who's got the balls to do it?
come in, and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump
Take
wins
care,
the
DJ.
election
Thank
in a
you.
landslide,
Love
that
you too.
means
Good night.
obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a
We're almost
reporter.
out.
So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep, the fund guy, was with him all the time. What's his name? Reid Hoffman. Who? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news, and you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
Mr. President,
Right there. Oh, my bad. So right there, I would say men should have stepped up and said, you had no right to say that to her. You're a bad president. And left it at that. Not only you're a bad human being, you're a bad president. Because nobody ever has talked to just professional people like that with the disrespect you just gave. You just protected a man whose family killed 9/11 people. And is accused by our government, America first. Fuck what he says. America says, through our intelligence, from other countries, not just us hearing it through the grapevine, blames him. And you just protected him because he said he's going to end up giving like $1 trillion to America. We don't want his blood money. We got this. Sometimes not all money is good money. And it's obvious not good money if you're taking it for somebody who kills Americans and has no problems with it. Woman, I don't know her name either. I'm going to try and find out her name, but she's a champion big time for America. She asked a question nobody else in there asked. Can't stand any of them. They didn't ask that question, and none of them that I saw rebutted and asked the question again. She asked 2 questions. This last one right here is when he says, no more questions for you. Like she's some kind of child. And on top of that, the shit that he said to another reporter, calling her a piggy, tell her to be quiet, stop talking, piggy. I'm like, I don't need no evidence. I know the way he treats women, that he did the shit these women said he did to them. He doesn't get credit just because what? He's a president? No. He's gotten away with all this shit. His best friend was a pedophile. A young girl, Katie Johnson, I don't know if it's a real name, it may be her pseudonym. She said he and Jeffrey Epstein did it. I believe her. No more words need to be said. No more evidence on my part needs to be said. The way he treats women in public, can you imagine the way he treats them behind the scenes? She's the ABC journalist. I don't know her name, but I'll look it up. But the last thing I want to do, Mary Bruce, thank you, Mary Bruce. Last thing I want to do is, and this is what the name of this show is how the second part of it is. First, for the women, again, celebrate you guys. Love you guys for what you did today. You made history to get those voices out there, to let people know you ain't going to be played with no more. And we got your back 1,000%, American citizens do. And we're going to close this out again with them saying, for what they've done, thank you. And I can't wait until that vindication comes, and when those people start getting either put behind bars or at least casted out into the open, and America starts to judge them for what they did. I can't wait for that. But before that, before we end it, I want you guys to see. I never thought a day would come that I would say again, and this keeps on happening. It's kind of sickening, but it is what it is. Marjorie Taylor Greene today, I was blown aback because she literally just, what she said was powerful. And I agree 1,000,000%. I've been saying it way before she said it, but I agree with her 100% on this. And I don't know when this fever is going to break for her. She's going to go back, running back to MAGA, or is she just done with MAGA and she's going to run for president on her own or whatever it is for her own power. But I got a feeling she's running for president. I got a feeling because I started seeing some videos. There's a new hat, a blue hat called America First, not MAGA anymore. Women are starting to put it on that are MAGA, throwing away their MAGA hats and putting on America First hats. I don't know. I'm just saying. But this is what she said.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me.
I ain't got no mic. Mic drop. Mic drop. 1,000%. 1,000%. Mic fucking drop. She just called Donald Trump exactly what he is. They like to speak in riddles. But she just called Donald Trump a traitor. And I said it too many a times, and I stand by that. I've been saying it since he said that Putin, when he sat in front of Russia, whatever country they was in, when he met with Putin by himself, when this dude can't even read hardly at the fucking 4th grade level, sat in front of a master spy and then came out and said, well, he said that, he didn't do it. So why would he lie to me? After American leaders said this dude did what he did. American spies and intel said that he was a part of what all the different things that was going on in America, shit like that. Donald Trump, why would he do it? Why would he do it? Traitor is what I've been calling him. Today, he was there with and he didn't even give 2 shits about Jamal Khashoggi, American citizen. People didn't like him. Asked at the same time, 9/11 people are upset. The Never Forget crowd, the place in New York where Donald Trump came from, they don't like the fact that you're here. They lost lives and you're on our soil and in our White House. There used to be a time where traitors and people who were enemies to us could never, ever enter our home, our sacred home. We wouldn't let these people come visit us. We would never give them that type of credibility. And Donald Trump has destroyed the credibility of America. He's destroyed that luster that America has always separated itself from. If you are a tyrant, you were not allowed into our home. We can visit you on somebody else's soil, but you could never touch ours. And Donald Trump is a traitor to this country for allowing that man to step foot into this country. Not only that, to be all huggy with him. And to sit there and to defend him, even though he is the man that our country has done the research on and found out to have killed an American citizen and a part of a group whose family or regime ended up killing 3,000 or more people in 9/11. So, MAGA, you can choose to forget those people all you want and ride or die with this piece of shit human. But we choose America. The fuck you choosing? Make America great again? Is this what you call great? Selling us down the river? Protecting an American killer? I know some of y'all lost family in 9/11. He just pissed on their fucking graves. The fuck out of here talking about you love America. There's no way you can love America and love that shit of a human. I said what I said. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. I always try to get it out, tell the truth, get my opinion out there. And I'll let you guys have a good night. Much love to y'all. I appreciate all my subscribers, my members. I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow around the same time where we'll get it in, and we'll see if there's another celebratory moment of Donald Trump signing this document. If he stalls with this and don't sign it by the end of the night or doesn't sign it tomorrow morning and keeps on trying to push it down the road, you know Donald Trump is guilty. He has to work with speed if he wants any semblance of any kind of, his MAGA people to believe that he's innocent. We already know he's guilty as fuck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good night. Be safe. Much love to y'all. I will see you when I see you.